Welcome everyone. We're here today with Murray Taggart, one of our members of Cooperative Business New Zealand. And welcome Murray, great to have you here. Murray's a board member of three of our main co-op members here at Cooperative Business NZ. He's Chair of Alliance Group, Director of Balance Agri and Director of FMG. So I've asked Murray today to just come and have a chat with us in terms of some of the challenges facing co-ops from the perspective of a chair and a director of boards. So Murray, obviously your businesses that you're involved with are classified as essential services. How have you navigated this across the various organisations that you're sitting on the boards for?
Well, I guess there's only a degree of that is in control of the organisation, and certainly there was some nervousness across all businesses as to who was going to be essential and who wasn't. Fortunately, the government took a pretty pragmatic view, and certainly where there was a wee bit of uncertainty, the organisations I'm involved with certainly put their case to the bureaucracy to suggest that we're certainly critical to the process.
Oh, that's great. And I guess as a chair and director, you know, what are you finding that your teams are most focused on right now?
Yeah, obviously, it's going to depend on the industry you're in and whether you're considered essential or non-essential as to how a team's going to be reacting to the current environment. But certainly, a lot of it has just been about how do we negotiate the new environment we're in? How do we achieve separation for our people? Because first and foremost, we have to make sure that our people are safe. The other big thing that we've got to really focus on is, you know, in uncertain times, cash is king. How do we preserve our cash position? How do we, do we defer capex? Most companies are deferring non-essential capex at the moment. What can we do to ensure the business is in the strongest position possible to withstand the current environment? And that's what management team is working on.
Yeah, and just in terms of your role as a chair and director, I guess there's always some concern as to, are you meeting your duties during this period? Is there anything that you can talk to on that topic?
Yeah, I guess obviously when it's very uncertain times and things are changing rapidly, then there is a need for more regular updates between board and management. Now, you've got to be really careful with those. If you think management are going to sit down and do a 20 or 50 page set of board papers for every call or a discussion you're going to have, it's really going to take their eye off the ball of what they should be focusing on. So certainly the companies I've been involved with, it's been a more of an informal discussion, and in some cases it's just a conference call catch-up or a Zoom meeting where it's a verbal briefing from management and likewise responses from the board. And so it's trying to ensure you don't tie up management on non-essential stuff or on activity that really isn't helpful in the current climate, particularly when you've got to remember they're probably all burning the candle at both ends at the moment just to keep the company afloat.
Yeah, no, I'm hearing that from a number of our members, so it's good to hear it from yourself. And just in terms of the future, what role do you see co-ops playing as part of the regeneration of the economy?
Well, clearly a big chunk of the co-op sector has been designated as essential by the government, which is good because it recognises we are essential to the economy. And certainly if you look across the co-op sector, there's a heavy primary sector emphasis. And in terms of the New Zealand economy, the levers you can pull to lift us out of the inevitable recession that we're into, it's really got to be something that the sectors that are producing something tangible that are still able to operate in the new world environment. And that's where the primary sector in particular is a big lever the government can pull. But how do they crank up the primary sector? Well, we're certainly looking for a number of things from government, and one of those is the luxury compliance that we had in a different world environment is no longer going to be affordable today, and so we have to revisit a lot of those compliance ideas and say, gee, is that driven by ideology? Is it driven by science? Is it absolutely critical in the current environment? because the money that's going on there, if that was put into productive activity, could really help New Zealand move out of recession.
Thanks very much for that. And yeah, just wanting to make sure that we're updating our members and getting the most up-to-date thinking from key leaders. So thanks very much, Murray, for your time today, and we'll look forward to the next instalment.
Okay, cheers, Ross.